Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the Admas character of our world around us, and this time we will discuss a very short book but nicely written entitled The Hellenistic Age by Peter Toneman, the historian, quite young one because 45 years old as of now, and German by origin but writing in English, and he is known for his works on the Hellenistic Age, and this one actually I read recently is the general mini panorama of the Hellenistic Age, and I really like it because it's really concise and a lot of information is compressed within a tiny volume. As of now, it's available only in English, according to my knowledge, and I really enjoyed the introduction because Mr. Toneman actually debunked the myth that we have really little sources about Hellenistic age, and many historians for many decades have been lamenting, and some of them are still lamenting, that we have not so much sources, many narrative sources, and at one moment and later never continue the narrative. Sometimes some of them continue because there are gaps, or one historians continues after another the narrative, but there is a gap from this year to this year. Yes, it's true. Maybe narrative sources we have available for this period of time from the conquests of Alexander, actually death of Alexander the Great till death of Cleopatra. So it means 323 BC till 30 BC. So we don't have maybe the best set of narrative sources, but we have a lot of numismatics, we have a lot of from time to time archaeological artifacts from the excavation, like from the places which was nicely described in this book in the southwest Anatolia, so nowadays southeast Turkey coast, the Aegean Sea, the city Priene, that was excavated since the late 60s in the 19th century and still is investigated. So we have many inscriptions, and we can nicely track how this city actually managed being relatively autonomous under the rule of many Hellenistic monarchs, because this region, those days called Caria, was actually handed over from one Hellenistic state to another, actually many times through this Hellenistic period, and the city slowly ceased to exist when the port was filled by the material carried by the rivers, and so on and so on. So the city lost its meaning and slowly fall into decay during Roman period. But okay, it's fine. We have it nicely documented, many inscriptions. We know also that there was a sort of democratic system for the elite of the city, but there was a huge role of the very rich beneficators, so very rich citizens who financed different enterprises, not only cultural one, but also helped in financing the defensive forces, and so on and so on, and slowly democratic system turning more into oligarchy, as the tendency always goes in democratic systems, because the ones who has money, especially in these systems, is the one who really rules over the population. But okay, so this is fine. So Mr. Toneman proves us that despite the fact we don't have maybe continuous narrative sources about this period, we are not left in the dark. We have a lot of other historical material to analyze and to extract past events from it. He also mentions excavations from the Ai so the city in northern Afghanistan, which actually seems to be Greek, but there is a question and it's hard to answer what was the real fraction of the Greek or Greek speaking population in this city, but one can nicely track on this case the progress of Hellenization in Central Asia and some of its limitations. Unfortunately, since 1978, so since the year in which Afghanistan actually uh, when troubles in Afghanistan started, the excavations were stopped. It's a pity, but despite this fact, Canum gave us a lot of insights into the daily life of the Hellenistic, or superficially very often Hellenized, or in terms of elite, quite profoundly Hellenized societies in Central Asia. So we shouldn't complain. Also numismatics for the like Bactrian kingdom and so on, and also archaeology. We shouldn't complain. We have a lot of material to analyze. Well, of course, there was also a chapter, short one, dedicated about the scientific progress in Hellenistic era, so it represents a little bit newer tendencies that actually this technological problem was present. Author Peter Toneman focuses mainly on the achievements of Eratosthenes, who is known for his mathematical geography and very good estimation of the size of the Earth, and so on and so on. There are a few sober statements that Mr. Toneman formulates, that science was actually as a because it was financed by the government, so Hellenistic monarchs, it was financed mainly to serve the purposes of government, of course, but despite this fact, a lot of progress was done. Progress for humanity. We even use these basics today, and we are not aware of. And I really like such short book. Maybe there was a statement that I do not fully agree, that the largest losses for the Library of Alexandria were caused by time. Of course, many volumes were lost by time, by, as Mr. Toneman says, by ordinary mice. But I think fires in which are reported by chroniclers contributed to larger extent to the destruction of the collections of the library than ordinary mice, because people were employed there practically almost all the time when the library was working, so volumes were taken care of, better or worse. But okay, these are the small details. So the Hellenistic Age by Peter Toneman is quite good, short volume, good equally for the beginners to the Hellenistic period, as well as for people who know the period but would like to refresh some basic to themselves, or simply read something nicely written about this Hellenistic period and short, and discuss some aspects that are discussed within the text of this book. Take care, have a nice day, bye.